This is the Atlanta Small Business Show with Jim Fitzpatrick.
Hi everyone, I'm Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me on another edition of the Atlanta Small Business Show. Today we have back in our studio Mark Idden, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Sales at Trader Genius, and Rob Youngkins, who's Vice President of Training at Trader Genius as well. We brought these two gentlemen back into the studio because we got a lot of great response, a lot of great feedback and inquiries about their product. People out there want to know more about Trader Genius, how it works specifically. So Rob, welcome to the show. Of course, Mark, welcome to the show as well. But I think, Rob, we're going to drill in on you today and ask you, how does this program work?
All right.
First, talk to us a little bit about, if you would, Mark, the history of Trader Genius, for those people that didn't catch the last segment.
Yeah, the actual software program itself actually goes back close to 20 years. One of the co-founders, Alan, just couldn't find a product that worked for him. He was already investing, very experienced, but just couldn't find something that worked.
Sure.
And fortunately for us, he's a programmer.
Okay.
So he spent the next 10 plus years developing the program, testing it with a small group of friends.
Sure.
Got it to a technically very competent level, and then met the other co-founder, Stephen, who's a process guy, and took it from a very tech base into a user-friendly base, and that's kind of what developed as Trader Genius. So so the program itself, although we're relatively new, 4 or 5 years as an organization, the actual software is 15 plus years old, so very stable.
Right, and well proven.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. And your application of this is to be able to go into companies and let the employees of companies handle their own investing, right?
Yes,
Through a
exactly.
very simple platform.
Empower people, educate people,
Right.
and make this less of an onus task and give them more control of their financial future.
Yeah, for sure. So, Rob, give us a brief history of your background and how you got into coaching with Trader Genius.
Sure. 2003, I joined the Marines, did a few tours in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Wow.
Got out, did some contracting, and I met Stephen, our co-founder, who was the systems and design guy. He was a former Marine Corps officer. So we worked together. I hadn't traded up to that point. It was about 6 years ago. He trained me. He coached me. And from there, I took it and ran with it with the coaching program. And I've trained dozens to success at this point.
Wow. So Rob, let's kind of drill down. I mean, I'm glad that you're here today because I'd like to learn more about the program as well. It's got some great features to it, got a lot of great reviews as well. So for the viewers that are out there, show us how it all works.
Well, in concept, Trader Genius is a customizable, it's a way for you to get into the investing market, stock trading, or options day trading. We kind of have those three silos. But whatever floats your boat, you get into the system, you design a system, basically a vehicle to get you where you want to go. So you have to come in just having some destination, whether that's a comfortable retirement or I just want to have a trickle of income on the side while I'm still working a full-time job.
Sure.
So understand what you're going to be using trading for or investing, and then we'll help you design whatever system is going to work for you to get the result that you want. We have data that goes back to 1900. You can see here on the screen.
1900. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The Dow Jones chart that I'm pulling up right now is a multi-decade chart, so you can see how the overall market did throughout all these decades. And all of our tools, our indicators, are tested, back-tested with all these historical stock movements.
It's incredible.
Right. So the indicators, as you said, they have substance, and they are proven. You were excited to see what we had to offer. It's very simple. And so there's sophistication in the background as far as how we calculate the charts as they appear. But the user interface is very simple, and that's where our design guru came in. We have different lists for growth, investing, or options, depending on which way you want to go. Watch lists customizably. We'll get into some of these later. ETFs, exchange traded funds. And then you can set up whatever list you want for whatever purpose. You can break it down by sector, and if you're a really advanced trader already coming in, you can use something like the Cube to break down the sectors and decide where you want your money to be working.
Wow, that's great.
Educational videos right there in the menu for you, and we have plenty online on our tradergenius.com, the video dashboard.
And you guys, you're not an investment house.
No.
So when I invest my money, you're just giving me the platform to manage it all, but I'm not investing with Trader Genius, right?
No, we're not financial advisors. We don't handle money, but we provide you the background knowledge for you to make kind of well-informed decisions about what you want to do with your money and how you want to invest. So that's really the fundamentals, and we try and do everything in one place. So covering with the videos and stuff, you can start there. We also have videos online, so there's a lot of background information that people can utilize as they're making their decision, as Rob said, kind of developing their own comfort level. That's the one thing that is key. Like, you will invest differently than I will invest.
Sure.
And this system allows you to kind of customize that. And that's what we've got in some of the charts. It's like you can have them very simple, and you'll see a couple of the indicators that Rob, I think, has got ready to pull up, to a more sophisticated level where you can have all sorts of data on the screen, if that's what you're comfortable with.
Check out some tickers that folks might know already. Here's Tesla. They've experienced some good growth recently.
Yes, they have.
So we keep it simple with just reds and greens down at the bottom.
Okay.
A couple of our major indicators are going to be the signal here, or it's called trigger for stock trading.
Okay.
This green highlight, when that comes on, there's favorable buying conditions. And there's a lot of buying in the market, and you can see when the green comes on.
You've made it idiot-proof. I mean, most people will tell you that, you know, I think only about 45% of Americans even invest in stocks, and large majority of those are through their 401k. But when you ask the average person out there, how come you're not in the stock market? They'll say, it's just too intimidating. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't have the guidance. This does all that for you, right?
Yes.
Which
and
is
that's
huge.
one of the things is, like, if you look at this one screen, it's everything you need is in one place.
Right.
The financials are all broken down into simplified formats. Give you all, that would be multiple screens and multiple places you'd have to research, but we've done all that, brought it together so people can make a very quick and well-educated and well-informed decision.
Right.
And but again, it's all based on individuals. So everyone will interpret the screen, you know, the information that they're most comfortable with, and that's the education part that we help with as well.
Sure. What if I've got a portfolio already in place with another investment house? Can I move that over, or how not move it over, but can I apply this software to that?
Oh, absolutely, and that's really where it's good from. So we cover from investing to stock trading to options trading. So we cover the whole gambit of investing. So no matter where your money is or what it is you're doing with it, whether it's through a 401k or whether it's a private kind of your own personal investment, you can utilize this to decide what you want to do. You know, and there's a process to that as well. It's like where you are in your life, how aggressive you want to be, and then you make those decisions based on that. And the software can adapt. You see, you look at the charts, you can do daily, weekly, monthly, and that's going to give you different information that you can base a decision on. So, and then we have the other indicators as well at the top that kind of give you, it's simple, green, red. It's like green, red, and other colors. It's very, very simple.
Right. Yeah, you've got all the information, which is what an investor needs. They need all of that data and that information and about making that investment, because people make one click and they can lose it all if they don't have that background data, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's other parts of the what's happening in the market that's important. It's like we're actually just developing. People are scared about a bear. Like, when's the bear coming? Because it goes through cycles. We're actually just about to launch a course on bear. People don't realize you can still make money in a bear market. And so it's all about education and kind of demystifying it, because terminology can confuse people. It's actually fairly simple behind that, but people like to confuse you sometimes by using big terms and it's like, this is complicated. Well, it is, but you can simplify it to a point that it's usable.
That's right.
Whittle it down to only the information that's going to help you make low-risk decisions. Extraneous information is just going to clutter your mind and lead you to make bad decisions, and like you said, put your money at risk. And we need to practice capital management if we're going to be individual investors, and protect that capital that we already have, not just risk it because we see gains out there on a Tesla, a stock that's blooming or booming.
And this isn't only historical data, this is also current. I mean, this is in real time.
In real time. And some of the indicators we use are shorter term, like this blue tint you can see here on Tesla. That's that kind of rapid growth. It's a very short indicator. It turns off very quickly. The longer term stuff, like the trigger in the background, that's just for you to know where the lower risk is. And then we have some even more powerful tools, like let's go over to Amazon. We have Stock Trader Genius, Investor Genius, and these are kind of the premium, the kind of our Ferrari indicators. Very, very good at identifying low risk entry points and good exit points. But you can see it comes on and it's got this diamond shape here. Let's put Amazon on the monthly. So Amazon, you would have been in here back in 2016. The signal came on, and then it came off, looks like the end of November 2018. And in those 2 years, 2.5 years roughly, you went from $600 a share to $1,600 a share. If you just followed the signals.
I didn't, but I know
that's
I was going to be sitting there with you fine gentlemen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so making the nature of the indicators, Jim, is super important to have it off on. If there's lines, like you can put on, you can customize these charts however you want, but if you want to compare it to the sector that's going on or the overall market, anytime there's a line following your candle pattern here, there is subjectivity to it. There's interpretation, and your eyes are going to see it differently than mine, as well as Mark's. So if it's how far below the line, then it's a judgment call and there's uncertainty.
Right.
If it's on or it's off, it's binary. It either is or it isn't.
Right.
Build your system of rules from the ground up, like you said. Start with $1,000 and make paper trades with simulated money.
Right.
And build up your skills until your rules, and tinker with your rules until they work. That's why we have the simulator.
Yeah.
We have a stock trading simulator, we have an options trading simulator. You test your rules until your system is proven effective over a number of repetitions, hundreds, thousands, and then take it to the live market.
Yeah.
And don't change your mindset. Well, that's where the coaching comes in, is getting the right mindset about risk, about your habits and your emotions when you're trading.
Right.
Yeah, as soon as emotions get in, that's when you see people make a mistake. It's like, I hope, and as soon as you hear hope, it's like, oh yeah, that's bad.
Hope is not good. You need to base it on real data. Yeah. That's exactly right. So who's the perfect user for this, and for the companies that are out there? I know last time that you were in, we talked about the idea of you taking this to employers and companies, small businesses specifically, to say, look at what you can offer to your associates that some of the big companies out there, because we're all competing, as you know, small business owners, for that for that great candidate that we all want, you know, and they're going to come in and say, well, what kind of tools are you giving me? What kind of benefits are you giving me? This seems to be a very big benefit and a very valuable one.
Yeah, I mean, when you're competing against the big boys that have the 401ks and stuff, and they're still limited in terms of what you can actually do.
Right.
So from our perspective, having this kind of commercial approach where you can go to a small business and offer this to your employees, it's very, very cost effective, but it really puts some true value added for the employee. Right. And when you talk about loyalty and kind of longevity, it's like, it's just thought. Do I just jump for an extra $1 because because they're offering me $1 more an hour?
Right, that's right.
But when I've got this kind of benefit and I'm actually seeing real results, and they're actually investing in me by giving me this education, which for most 401ks, you don't get much education in a 401k. It's like, sign up, pick your choices, off you go.
That's right.
And we'll match you so much. But with this, you are getting an education, and it's all part of that package. Sure. So that's something you take forever.
That's right.
And ideally, that's what builds the loyalty and some of the
and a great culture. I mean,
exactly.
It goes to
the culture. That's what I was looking for.
You know, with regard to showing that associate and that employee that you care about their future. You're not just right here now, and what are you going to do for me now, Mr. and Mrs. Employee, but we're worried about your financial future as well. This is a great tool in order to do just that.
Well, I think you take that concern away from people, because when it's not, the water cooler conversation becomes more about, I've just made X% on this stock and stuff, rather than, man, I've got a soccer camp coming up and I don't know how I'm going to afford it. But when you're providing people with that tool, it's a different conversation, and it's a different kind of motivator, ideally amongst the group, and it becomes more of a camaraderie thing, and it brings people together because it's community.
Sure. For what kind of support do you have? Is there a help desk, or is there anybody that if in the event they need to get walked through this or more training, I guess that would fall under you, right? To say, hey, walk me through this again. I've got some questions on that. Is that available to them?
If you enroll in advanced coaching with me, you have a coach for life. Wow. So you can always reach out to me. Have an alumni checkup basically is where I circle back and just former students come and just say, hey, I was having this issue, or I wanted to explore this style. Sure. Cool. Let's talk about it. Sure. Pros and cons. We'll go over it, and they'll choose their own path from there. If you need support, we have an FAQ section. We're building up on the website, and then we have an awesome Facebook community called the Profit Zone.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, and you can get in there and ask a question, and I mean, usually within seconds, a member or a coach is going to.
I got to wait that long, huh? Seconds.
Yeah, everybody's eager to see what everybody else is posting.
Yeah, of course.
Because we're all.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the community is a big part for us. This is because investing can be a pretty solo sport.
Yes. Right.
And we really we work on our community, and other people all looking out for each other. Yeah. And all have a common bond all built around this.
And are they sharing tips and investment tips and things like that?
Yeah, just what's been happening, what they've seen in the market, their interpretation.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been. You agree?
Lessons learned is the number one thing that we communicate. Is like, hey, I tried this. Here was the 5 W's. Who, what, where, when, why, and it worked or it didn't.
That's great. Yeah. And how long does it take for somebody that's interested? How long does it take them to get up and running? When can they get on the platform, and how quickly?
It really depends on where they're starting. I would say, like, we've got a lot of questions like, I know nothing.
Right.
So we start them off slow. We have a video course, very easy to use for people to just kind of get familiar with it.
Right.
And then one of the benefits of the program is you have an opportunity to simulate. You can actually try it and start playing with it. Yeah. And as you saw today, it's very user friendly. It's just point and click, and you can try stuff, and that builds your confidence. So it really depends. It's very individual. If like someone's really committed to it, it could be a matter of weeks. The more repetitions they do, the more confident they'll get, the better their trading will become. And then they're ready to get into it. But some people, it can take 6 months or more. But it's really got to be right for you. You've got to do it with confidence, and you've got to do it when you're not emotionally attached to an outcome. As soon as you're emotionally attached to an outcome, that's a bad sign.
And you go over that on your platform.
Oh, we do, absolutely,
for sure.
And when I have a new student coming into the coaching program, we talk about it. Your progress as far as proficiency is not time-based. It's conditions-based. It's, are you going to pour the time and attention into the practice to get better at your system? Like I said, tinkering with your rules until they're clicking consistently. Or are you just it's gonna be a back burner thing? Well, that's fine. It just might take you a little bit longer to get up and running. And it might be a slow trickle building up to a waterfall.
Sure. Can somebody make money in the stock market if they come in at like $300 a month? I mean, is that still a number that if somebody says, well, I can allocate $300 a month, instead of going to dinner with my wife 5 times a month, I'll cut one of those off and we'll invest in the stock market. Is that a beginning?
Yes, certainly. There are plenty of stocks, like I pulled up Amazon here because we already had it.
Sure.
This is around $2,000 a share. That's probably not your stock.
Not the stock to go for.
But if you go into our lists, especially like over here in growth, investing, profits per diem is $1 to $5, $5 to $20. These are some of our oldest and most reliable lists.
Sure.
But you look at these guys and pull up a chart, and we're trading at $6, $8, $10 a share. You can certainly get into those.
You can get into it,
And we haven't talked about it yet, but you bring your own brokerage with the stock trading here. So whatever you've got, if your money's already with Robinhood or et cetera, use them, fine. But we've got the best charts for analyzing low risk conditions. Move the money through whatever brokerage you're comfortable with, and you can find whatever stock you're looking for here. That can include ETFs, exchange traded funds, which you do have control over, as opposed to a mutual fund.
Wow, that's fantastic. It sounds to me like you've created such a no-brainer for investors out there, whether they be very seasoned and they're very sophisticated. You've got that end of the spectrum covered, as well as the newcomer that says, hey, I think 2020, this is the year I want to allocate so much of my income to the stock market, and this is a great tool for that as well.
Absolutely.
And then as I grow as an investor, the platform is there to grow with me.
Platform community is all there to support people as they grow in their kind of investing career. It's fun. I mean,
I could imagine. Sure.
Seeing people grow is really interesting. Like seeing people get more confident and kind of where they start to where they end up and go live, and then they have their successes and stuff. It's very rewarding for us.
And it's a bonding opportunity too. Because we see them grow, and I grow right along with them as I'm coaching them. Mark just checks it. I mean,
that's great.
And bring that to a office environment. Like you said, team cohesion increases exponentially if everybody is kind of like learning together and figuring it out as a group.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, Mark Eden and Rob Yokins, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Atlanta Small Business Show. This has been fantastic, and I know, again, we're probably going to get a lot of feedback and comments about this. How do I get started would be one of the first comments. So sounds pretty easy, right?
Yep.
It is.
Congratulations, you built a great platform. How do they get started? I mean, if they want to learn more, what do they need to do?
Honestly, go to the website. It's probably the easiest way, tradergenius.com, and you'll see a Getting Started tab.
It's that easy.
Home, and it drops down, Getting Started, and that'll get you a trial. We run a 30-day free trial. It's like no obligation. Just try it.
That's
and then if you like it, great. And if you don't, it's not the right time, that's great also.
Wow.
It's like, we're not high pressure. It's just, it's got to be right for the individual as well as for the company. So it gives everybody a chance to get comfortable with it.
That's right. That's right. Well, for small business owners and entrepreneurs and anyone that's listening to us today that wants to make 2020 the year that they want to invest in the stock market, now that you've got a tool like this, from Trader Genius, and it's a 30-day, no obligation situation, free. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
Go to the website now and learn more, and make 2020 your year to jump into the stock market and start benefiting from some of these stocks that are going off the charts. So, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Great.
Thanks for watching Atlanta Small Business Show. ASBN is a part of the JBF Business Media family.